Okay, so good day, everyone. Before we go to the development of juvenile justice in the Philippines, wherein we are going to discuss the presidential decree, the Republic Acts that is related to juvenile justice system, let's go on and discuss muna the key concepts related to the juvenile court system, no? When we say juvenile court system, we all know that it is a specialized legal system for our minors that are involved in delinquency or other legal issues. But before that, we are going to discuss muna these concepts. Ayan. So, number one there is your juvenile court. Okay, so juvenile court is actually a court that has original jurisdictions over individuals that are legally classified as juveniles, no? This minor, no? This minor people. Okay, so they actually handle cases where minors are accused of delinquency or offenses, no? And these juvenile courts, of course, focus more on rehabilitation rather than punishments. Okay, so ito yung korte that is conducting a hearing of cases of these juvenile delinquents. Okay? Number two is child in need of supervisions. No? So, it is a term that applied to the status offenders or what we call the minors, no, that have been already adjudicated in juvenile court for non-criminal but problematic behavior. Ibig sabihin meron silang problema sa kanilang behavior, no, such as maybe truancy, okay, they violate curfew violations, ayan, they are running away from homes, okay, so this child in need of supervision cases emphasizes supervision and support rather than punishment. So, pag hinatulan ka na sa juvenile courts because of this acts, ang tawag na sa'yo or ang status mo na is child in need of supervision or your chins. Okay? Next one is your Breed versus Jones in 1975. So, this is actually the landmark, no, of your Supreme Court case before. Kasi, ang sabi dyan, it ruled that a juvenile who has already been adjudicated in juvenile court cannot be prosecuted again in adult court for the same offense. Kasi, pag nangyari yon, that is already double jeopardy, right? Okay, so however, if the first conviction was considered a civil matter, a second prosecution could proceed in adult court. Okay, so pwede daw dinggin sa adult court ang isang bata na already adjudicated sa juvenile court for as long as ang hatol or ang sabi dyan sa juvenile court is just a civil matter and not a criminal case. Yan. Pero, again, sabi ko nga, juvenile who has already been adjudicated in juvenile court cannot be prosecuted again in adult court because that will affect to double jeopardy already. Okay? Next one is your Civil Protection Order, okay? Or your CPO. Ito naman, it is a legal order issued by the child welfare agencies or police to remove an adult from a home when there is suspicion of child abuse. Say for example, yung tito, yung tatay, yung nanay na inaabuso yung kanilang anak or this child, no, they can actually remove that person sa bahay, no, na kung saan tumitira yung bata. So it serves as a form of course, a protective custody to safeguard the child from harm. Okay? Next one is delinquency proceeding. Okay, delinquency proceeding, of course, it is another legal process where a juvenile is formally declared a delinquent. Okay, so dito, this child was already declared mismo ng korte that he or she is a juvenile delinquent, no? Ngayon, a delinquent, of course, sabi natin, minor who has committed an offense that would be maybe classified as a crime if committed by an adult. So this process is equivalent to a criminal trial in adult courts. Okay, so ang isang bata that have made an offense or kasalanan, it is the same as a crime ngayon sa mga adult cases. Okay? So, ayan. Parehas na siya sa criminal trial in adult courts. Okay? Next one is your disposition. Okay? It is a phase in juvenile court. It is similar to sentencing in adult court. However, juvenile courts aim to provide alternative and individualized sentencing rather than imposing standard punishment. So, depende na kay judge if he will consider it or not. Okay? So, basta ang sinasabi lang dito sa disposition, the same na or magkatulad na yung paghahatol sa isang delinquent sa isang adult case. Okay? So, parehas na yung sentencing phase nilang dalawa. Okay? And lastly is your restitution. Okay? When we say restitution, no, is also a legal requirement for offenders to compensate the victims for damages. Of course, no? Pag nagkasala ka, naka-agrabyado ka, of course, you compensate the victim for what you have done, diba? However, sa juvenile court natin, restitution cannot be a condition for probation. Lalong-lalo na, hindi naman pwedeng you just pay and then no more punishment for you, no? Hindi pwede. Okay? Or, poor families cannot be denied probation just because they cannot afford restitution. Okay? So, kahit na, say for example, wala kang pangbayad, hindi din siya pwedeng maging alternative ng probation. You will still be punished for that. Okay? So, kahit na meron kang pangbayad or wala, okay, still, probation is not, hindi mo matatakasan yung probation. Okay? Yan. Okay, so let's move on now to the development of juvenile justice in the Philippines. So we have here PD 603, RA 7610, RA 6809, and so on and so forth. So first muna that we are going to discuss is of course your PD 603 or the Child and Youth Welfare Code. PD 603 was approved on December 10, 1974 and became effective on June 10, 1975. So, 6 months after yung approval, tsaka pa lang siya naging effective. Okay, so this code actually applies to all persons under 18 years of age. No, under 18 years of age, this will now actually set the stage for both protection of children's right and of course the responsibilities. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin what are the rights of a child. Okay, so this article actually, okay, so let's start with this one, the rights of the child. No, so this article actually guarantees a comprehensive list of rights to every child, ensuring, of course, equal protection, okay, access to a dignified life. So all children shall be entitled to the rights herein set forth without distinction as to legitimacy or illegitimacy. So whether legitimate ka or illegitimate ka, babae or lalaki ka, you're poor or you are on the or may kaya ka, kahit ano man yung religion mo, okay, political antecedents and other factors, you must have these rights. Okay? So, number 1 is right to be born well. Okay? Right to be born well. Kasi, of course, we actually know that every child is endowed with dignity and worth from the moment of conception. So, from the moment na ginagawa ka pa lang, okay, or from the moment na you are 2 days old sa sinapupunan ng mother mo, you have already a dignity and worth. Okay, so the child's civil status begin actually at conception, affirming the right to be born with dignity. Okay? So, pinagbabawal natin yung abortion. Okay? Number 2 is, of course, right to a wholesome family life. Yan. So, right to a wholesome family life. So, children have the right to be a part, of course, of a loving family, of a caring family. Okay? So, this includes you receive love from your parents, you receive guidance from your parents, you receive, of course, counseling and security from your parents. However, okay, abandoned or dependent children must be provided with the nearest substitute for a home. Say, for example, yung mga iniwan, yung mga pinaampon, or yung mga yung mga neglected child, hindi inaaruga ng kanilang sariling parents, they must be provided still with the nearest substitute for a home. Kaya nga tayo meron yung mga bahay pag-asa. Okay? Number 3 is right to the development of personality. Right to a well-rounded development of his personality. Okay, so of course, every children also are entitled to a well-rounded development para naman they may become happy. Okay, they became useful in the future. Okay, and they will become an active members of the society, no? Ngayon, of course, meron din yung mga batang may special talents. Okay, so gifted children. So, dapat they must be nurtured. And those with emotional or social challenges, dapat they must be treated with understanding, okay, and provided with proper care. Yan. Okay, so right to development of personality. Okay, the emotionally disturbed or socially maladjusted child shall be treated with sympathy and understanding and shall be entitled to treatment and competent care. The physically or mentally handicapped child shall be given the treatment, education, and care required by his condition. Okay, so hindi porket hindi sila makalakad, they are handicapped, wala na silang saysay or wala na silang maitutulong sa society. No. They still can be given education. Yan. Next one is right to a balanced needs or right to basic needs. Sabihin na lang natin. No? Hindi pala yan. Yan. Right to basic needs. Okay? So, of course, this one ensures access to a balanced diet. Dapat meron silang clothing. Okay yung tinitirhan nila. They are given a proper medical attention and of course other physical necessities, no, na kailangan nila for survival or for healthy life. Okay? Yan. So, that is your number 4. Right to basic needs. Number 5 is right to character enrichment. So, of course, no, every child should be brought up in an environment that enriches their moral values and of course strengthen their character. Yan. So, right to character enrichment. So, kawawa, no, yung mga bata na walang character, walang morals, walang values na natututunan. So it is still the right. Number 6 is of course, ito yung palagi nating nirereklamo minsan, no? Right to education. Okay? And so, of course, children have the right to an education that suits their abilities and aids in developing skills for future service to themselves and the society. Okay, so each of the children have the right to education. Number 7 is right to recreation. Okay, so full opportunities for safe and wholesome recreation and activities, ensuring that of course the leisure time contributes positively to development. Okay? So, yung mga recreation na yan, of course, madami din silang natututunan dyan, no? Hindi lang basta-basta. Okay, number 8 is right to protection against developmental hazards. Okay? Here in number 8, of course, we safeguard the children against, of course, maybe exploitation, improper influences from other people, and maybe other conditions, no, that is detrimental to their overall development. Yung hindi makakabuti sa kanila. Okay? So, yan. Right to protection against developmental hazards. Number 9, okay, right to safe environment. Every child is, of course, entitled to live in a community that is free from harmful influences and conducive to healthy growth. Ang kaso nga lang, hindi natin ito maiiwasan if this environment talaga or community talaga na nakalakhan ng mga kabataan is nagiging normal na talaga yung ganun sa kanila, no? Okay, so hindi natin maiiwasan. Pero luckily, wala tayo dyan sa places na ganyan, no? This is more on the urban areas or mas malalaki pang areas just like Manila. Okay? Number 10 is right to state protection. Okay? So, for example, when parents or guardians fail to meet a child's basic needs, ito yung tinatawag natin na parents patriae. Okay? The state must step into to provide care, assistance, and protection para sa bata na yan. Okay, so right to state's protection or what we call your parents patriae. Yan. Number 11 is right to good governance. Okay? Children should be raised with faith in an efficient and honest government that practices ethical leadership. Pero anong nangyayari ngayon? No? Good governance ba ang nakikita or nararanasan natin ngayon? Yan. So, it's a question mark. This is a question mark. And last, but not the least, is of course your right to peace. No? So, every child has the right to grow up in an atmosphere of peace, understanding, and tolerance with a commitment to building a better world. So, say for example, agpipinukaw dahil balayda. Yan, mga ganyan, no? It's not peace. Hindi peace yung, or hindi nila nakukuha yung right to peace na kinakailangan nila. Okay? So, Article 4, or the responsibilities of a child. Since meron silang rights, of course, meron din silang responsibilities. No? So, of course, this section outlines the duties that accompany the rights of the child, emphasizing personal growth and social responsibility. So, number 1 there is live an upright life. Okay, so live an upright life. So, of course, no, kailangan nilang magsikap na mamuhay ng ng naayon sa tamang asal, or what we call upholding moral standards for everyday life, no? Yan. So, they must strive, of course, to live according to the tenets of their religion, maybe the guidance of the elders, and of course, a clean conscience. Okay, upright life. Yan. Number 2 is love, respect, and obey your parents. Hindi lang siya duties and responsibilities, but actually, no, this is one of the 10 commandments of God, no? That the child must, of course, love, respect, and obey their parents, of course, and work with them to strengthen the family unit. Yan. Number 3, of course, you must show also love for your siblings, for your brothers and sisters. Yan. So, extend care, you must be thoughtful, nung makita ni ading mo agsaksakit, helpfulness toward your brothers and sisters, no? Kasi it will contribute to a harmonious family environment. Para naman united yung family ninyo. Sinong walang care dito sa brothers or sa mga kapatid niya? Nauray lagsaksakit, baby, di tamar, marwam ko na. Diba? Okay, number 4, develop potential through education. Okay, so it is essential, of course, to develop one's ability and pursue a formal education, ultimately becoming an asset to oneself and society. So, of course, no, if you are given the chance and opportunity to have the education, di mag-aral ka ng mabuti. Okay? Kasi asset mo yan. Kaya nga natin palaging naririnig sa mga parents natin, no? Wala kaming ibang maipapamana sa inyo kundi ang edukasyon. Diba? Palagi ko yung naririnig. Lalong-lalo na sa lola ko noon. Okay? Nung nabubuhay pa siya. Next one is respect cultural and social norms. Okay, so ano to? Papasok na dito yung that the children should respect the elders. Yung mga nakaugalian like traditions and the laws of the country as well as the principles of democracy. No? Ako, say for example, hindi ako naniniwala sa mga hindi kasabihan, mga paniniwala ng mga matatanda, pero I respect them. Okay? Kaya kung kaparehas nyo ako na hindi ako naniniwala sa mga sinasabi ng mga tatanda, like nakakakita sila ng, I'm so sorry pero hindi talaga ako naniniwala. Say for example, sa amin, pag nagkasakit ako, di ba, idamag tayo tibabakit. Tapos, ang sasabihin nila is, ni lolam da ito ni papam, apang kakano agsinditi kandila. Okay? Hindi ako naniniwala, pero I respect the paniniwala of that lola na nagsabi or na nakakakita, no? So, wala namang masama, wala namang mawawala sa akin kung nagsindi ako ng kandila. Okay? Pero, as for me, hindi ako naniniwala. But, again, I respect the tradition and culture of these elders. Okay? Yeah. Share ko lang. Number 6 is participate in civic affairs, of course, no? We must have to have a active participation in civic and community affairs, no? Dapat ini-encourage natin yung mga bata. Kasi maybe it's a preparation for the youth for their future leadership roles, no? So it is kind of shaping their leadership for the nation, mga ganyan, no? Shaping the nation's future. Okay? And last is to uphold human rights and peace. Okay, to uphold human rights and peace. So of course, no, we must still, or these children as children must respect also and help in the observance of individual human rights. Kasi kung ako meron rights, kung ikaw merong rights, of course every one of us have our individual human rights. Okay, we must also support freedom. Okay? Support freedom wherein hindi ito yung sinasabi ng iba na palaging, oh, data makibibiyang, mga ganon, no? Hindi naman palaging ganon yung situation. There are times that we have to speak, okay, pag mali na yung ginagawa niya. Pero kung wala naman siyang tinatapakang tao, okay, we support his or her freedom. And contribute to international cooperation and peace. Okay, so this is furtherance for the world peace. Okay? Yan. So, what is your reflection sa rights and sa duties and responsibilities of the children? Okay? What is your reflection? I mean that lahat ba ng rights na na-discuss natin or lahat ba ng duties and responsibilities natin natamasa nyo ba nung mga kabataan ninyo? Ginawa nyo ba lahat yung makakaya nyo? No? So as we review these articles, did you even consider how these rights and responsibilities shape not only of course our legal framework, but also the moral and the social fabric of our society, no? Yan. So, okay. So, next to be discussed is on Section A in general. So, let me read to you Article 17, the Joint Parental Authority. Okay, so the father and mother shall exercise jointly just and reasonable parental authority and responsibility over their legitimate or adopted children. In case of disagreement, the father's decision shall prevail unless there is a judicial order to the contrary. Ayan, so joint authority dapat yung both parents. Kung may hindi sila hindi sila pagkakaunawaan, of course, ang desisyon ng ama yung masusunod. Okay, in case of the absence or death of either parent, the present or surviving parent shall continue to exercise parental authority over such children unless in case of the surviving parent's remarriage, the court for justifiable reasons appoints another person as guardian. Okay, so ulitin natin. If ever na namatay yung isa sa magulang, say for example, the mother died, yung natitirang magulang, which is the father, ang dapat na mag-alaga sa anak. However, if nagpakasal yung father, say for example, na surviving parent, maaaring the court will now appoint the guardian to the child or to their children. Okay? So in case of separation of his parents, no child under 5 years of age shall be separated from his mother unless the court finds compelling reasons to do so. So if ever ulit naghiwalay yung mag-asawa, okay, walang bata na 5 years old pababa na yung walang bata under 5 years old pababa, dapat nasa poder pa rin siya ng kanyang ina. Okay, so hindi siya pwedeng mawalay sa kanyang ina. Kahit na anong mangyari, sa ina pa rin dapat siya. Pero this is unless the court finds that the child is unfit to become a parent to the children. Okay, or there are reasons na pwedeng makumpel yung mother na yan. Okay, so yan. Okay, next one is parental authority or patria potestas. Okay, it is the sum total of the rights of the parents over the person and property of their child. Okay, so ito yung kabuuan or the all-in-all right ng magulang sa pagkatao at lahat ng mga pagmamay-ari ng kanilang anak, no? Legitimate man yan or illegitimate. Okay, so they have the right. Kung meron kang right as a child, meron din silang right of parents. Okay? Next one is parental responsibility. No? It is the sum total of the duties and obligations of parents over their minor children. Okay, so take note ha, or highlight. Let's highlight the minor children. Yan. So, this is, it yung all in all naman, their pananagutan kung tayo ng mga magulang sa kanilang mga anak. No? So remember, parental authority, this is the right of the parent sa anak or sa mga property of the child. Yan. So karapatan ng magulang sa anak. Pag parental responsibility naman, these are the rights and duties and responsibilities or obligations ng parents sa kanilang mga anak. Okay? One example for this one is yung pagbabawal ng parents sa mga anak na lumabas sa hating gabi. Okay? Lalong-lalo na pag sinasabi na huwag ka nang lumabas kasi curfew na. Okay? It is an example of parental authority. Okay? While habang yung pagbayad naman ng magulang, say for example sa damages at pagpapa-ospital sa isang taong na disgrasya na ang dahilan is yung anak nila, ang tawag naman dyan is parental responsibility. It is their duties and obligations. Yan. So, parental authority, meron kang karapatan para ipagbawal, karapatan para turuan yung anak mo. Okay, parental authority yan. Parental responsibility naman, your duties and obligations nga for your children. Okay? Next one is unfit parent. Okay, a temporary or permanent termination of parental rights in the best interest of the child, usually for reasons of abandonment, abuse, or neglect, but also including mental illness, addiction, or criminal record. Poverty alone and character flaws are prohibited by law from being indicators of unfitness. Okay? Yan, so ito naman is maybe, sabi nga natin, maybe a temporary, yan, panandalian, or permanent na pagtanggal ng rights, ng karapatan ng magulang sa kanilang mga anak. Dahil maybe meron silang problema, they were unfit or they are unfit. Okay? However, sabi ng batas or the law said that hindi sukatan ang kahirapan para tanggalin ng karapatan ang magulang sa pangangalaga ng kanyang anak, no? Yan. So, poverty alone and character flaws are prohibited by law from being indicators of unfitness. Hindi yan sukatan. Okay? Ayan. Next one is liabilities of parents. Parents and guardians are responsible for the damage or injury caused by the child under the parental authority. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanino. No? So, almost the same lang siya sa parental responsibility. Tandaan nyo lang na yung word na sum total, okay, pag yun yung nabasa nyo, meron, or yan yung tinatawag natin na parental responsibility. Kapag may word na damage or injury, liabilities of parents ang tinutukoy naman nito. Okay? So, parental responsibilities, pag may nabasa kayo, say for example, sa exam ninyo, merong sum total, that is your parental responsibility. Pero pag yung nabasa nyo is damage or injury, of course, that is the liabilities of parents. Okay? Next one is legal custody. Okay, legal custody. In case of separation of parents, no child under 7 years of age shall be separated from his mother unless the court decides otherwise. Okay? Hindi ko alam kung ano yung susundin, pero 7 years of age na lang. No? Sa atin, 7 years of age na lang. Kasi kanina, yung nabanggit natin is 5 years of age, no? So, ngayon, 7 years of age na lang. So, in case na nag-separate yung parents, tapos meron silang under 7 years old na anak, matik, okay, automatic kay mama siya mapupunta or sa mother siya mapupunta. Unless nga, sabi ko kanina, ipinag-utos ng court na hindi siya pwedeng kunin or hindi pwedeng kunin ng mother ang anak if isa siyang unfit na parent. Okay? Or hindi niya kayang itaguyod or there are some reasons wherein hindi niya pwedeng kunin yung anak niya that is under 7 years old. Okay?
Okay, so next word is guardianship. Okay? It is a trust relation of the most sacred character in which one person called a guardian who acts for another called a ward, who is regarded as incapable of managing his own affairs. Kaya tayo may tinatawag na legal guardian, no? Say for example, yung parents nag-separate and then wala na silang pag-iiwanan sa anak nila. So, pwedeng sa tita nila, sa lola nila, sa basta legal age na pwedeng maging guardian ng isang bata na hindi kayang alagaan ng kanilang parents. So, substitute parental authority. In case of absence or death of both parents, substitute parental authority shall be given to the following in order of priority. Sa guardianship kasi, buhay na buhay pa yung parents niya, pero hindi nila kayang i-manage yung mga anak nila. Okay? Sa substitute parental authority, meron na tayong tinatawag na absence or death of both the parents. Okay? So, sila yung mga taong maaring bigyan ng karapatan sa isang bata in case na wala na or patay na pareho yung mga magulang nito. So, sino-sino yung mga substitute parental authority? First one there is grandparents. Okay? Yung parents ng mga magulang niya. Number 2, oldest brother or sister or at least 21 years of age. So, kailangan na legal age sila, tsaka sila magiging guardian or tsaka sila magiging substitute parental authority. And number 3 is relative who has actual custody of the child, guardian duly appointed by the court. Okay, so any relative, pwedeng yung tita niya, tito niya, okay, yan, basta kamag-anak ng bata or ng mga magulang niya. Okay? Next one is in loco parentis. Okay? In loco parentis, these are your teachers, administrators, babysitters who are viewed as having some temporary parental rights and obligations. Okay? So, these are the people na meron lang pangsamantalang pangangalaga dun sa mga bata. Yan. So, dito sa teachers, no? Pansamantala lang naman ito kasi pagpapasok ka sa school, okay, sila yung magiging parents mo. Sa pagpapasok ka sa isa pang or another one is your administrators. Okay? Kung wala naman yung parents mo, may trabaho, meron tayong tinatawag na babysitters. So, yung tinatawag natin na in loco parentis. Okay, next one is in re Gold in 1976. Okay, so this is just the case, no, that determined the Constitution requires a separate juvenile justice system with certain standard procedures and protections, but still not as many as in adult system. Basta ang sinasabi lang dito is that dapat separate ang juvenile justice system at ang criminal justice system kasi meron silang kanya-kanya or sariling standard and procedures. As to protections naman, okay, iba ang protections ng juveniles, iba ang protections ng adults, no? And of course, sinasabi din dito na hindi 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 magkagaya or hindi talaga magkatulad yung system ng juvenile justice at ng criminal justice system. Okay? So, next is the commencement of civil personality. Okay? So, the civil personality of the child shall commence from the moment of conception. Okay? So, napag-usapan na natin kanina yan, na from the moment of your conception, from the moment of the conception, okay, meron na tayong tinatawag na civil personality. You should have already your rights as a child from the moment of your conception. Ayan. Okay, so that will commence from the moment of conception again. Okay, so kanina pa natin pinag-uusapan ang conception. Ano ba kasi yung conception, no? It is the start of life. It is the union of sperm cell and the egg cell. And it is also called the process of fertilization. Sa oras na nag-meet ang sperm cell at ang egg cell, nagkakaroon na ng pagkakakilanlan yung isang bata. Ibig sabihin, meron na siyang civil personality na pinag-uusapan natin. What is civil personality? Okay, it pertains to the identity and recognition of an individual as person having rights. It shall commence from the moment of conception again, and thus all children shall have the right to be born and the right to live. Okay, so ito yung tumutukoy sa isang tao na may ganap ng karapatan. Okay, from the moment of your conception, you shall have already your rights as a child. And the first one is right to be born and the right to live. Okay? Meron kasi tayong tinatawag na food for thought. Okay, food for thought. Okay, so during your reproduction, of course, no, sa reproduction natin, magmi-meet yung sperm cell and egg cell. From that moment, meron na tayong civil personality or meron na tayong right, okay, rights of the child. Ngayon, nagkakaroon na siya ng rights. Kaya dapat mabigyan siya ngayon ng right to live and right to be born. Okay, so that's the food for thought na sinasabi ko. Okay? Bakit? Okay, next one is illegitimacy. Okay? Being born to unmarried parents, the law assumes legitimacy via a married mother's husband, whether or not this is the true father. Illegitimacy status limits inheritance rights. Okay, so kung yung mga magulang ng bata hindi pa kasal nung siya ay lumabas, okay, nung isinilang siya, ang tawag sa kanya is illegitimate child. And this illegitimacy status, sabi dyan, it limits inheritance rights. Kaya nga merong mga parents or yung mga parents ng mga minors kunada kasarda kuman na dagos from the moment na naamuanda nga masikog sa babae, ipilit da nga agkasarda para lalabas yung bata na hindi illegitimate. Hence, magiging legitimate or legitimate child yung bata na yan. Okay? Yan. Next one is abortion. Okay, what is abortion? It is the expulsion of the fetus from the mother's womb. Okay, naawatan tayo matayta. But then, we have kinds of abortion. We have two, your criminal abortion and your therapeutic abortion. Okay, criminal abortion, it is classified as intentional or unintentional as provided in the revised penal code, and it is punishable by law. Okay, take note, intentional or unintentional. Okay, gusto nilang ipalaglag yung fetus na nang walang walang makatarungan na dahilan. Okay? Yan, and it is actually provided in the RPC and it is punishable by law. Kasi it's already a killing of a person, no? Yan. And number two is therapeutic abortion. It is recommended and performed by a certified physician when there are health risks and complication, and this kind of abortion is not punishable by law naman. Okay? These are the circumstances wherein kailangang i-abort yung fetus. So, maybe dahil masyadong mapanganib sa ina, ipagpatuloy pa niya yung pagdadalang tao. No? Okay. Yan. So, it must be performed by a certified physician. And this physician or doctor, of course, siya yung magsasabi na meron talagang panganib sa mother, kaya kailangang i-expel out yung bata na yan, or kailangang i-abort yung bata na yan. Okay, so yan, therapeutic abortion. So what are the difference between the two? Of course, criminal abortion, it is punishable by law, and therapeutic abortion is performed by a certified physician, and it is not punishable by law. Okay, so there are circumstances, complications, or risks, kaya kailangang expel yung bata. Okay? Yan. Special categories of children, we have their first one is your dependent. One who is without a parent, guardian, or custodian, or whose parents, guardian, or other custodian for good cause desire to be relieved of his care and custody and is dependent upon the public for support. Okay, so ito yung mga bata na humihingi ng tulong sa public para makasurvive sila. Okay, ito yung mga naglilimos, okay, yung mga nagbebenta dyan sa kalsada, yung mga umaasa sa mga donasyon kasi wala silang parents, wala silang guardian, or wala silang any custodian. Okay, so those are the dependent children. Next one, abandoned. Okay, one who had no proper parental care or guardianship, or whose parents or guardians have deserted him for a period of at least 6 consecutive months. Yan. Okay. Meron pang tuloy to. It refers to a child who has no proper parental care or guardianship, or whose parents have deserted him or her for a period of at least 3 continuous months. So this is under your RA 9523. The first definition is under your Presidential Decree 603. Okay, so remember, no, during actually your board examinations, ito yung mas nakakalito. Okay, or during examination, if I'm going to give this as a question on your examination, kung sinabi kong PD 603, okay, that will be 6 months, 6 consecutive months. Pag sinabi kong RA 9523, okay, that will be 3 continuous months. Okay, yan. So that is the definition of your abandoned child, no? Yung wala silang guardian, wala silang natatanggap na parental care, okay? Iniwan sila ng parents nila. Under PD 603, 6 consecutive months. Under RA 9523, 3 continuous months. Okay? Next one is neglected child. Okay, so one whose basic needs have been deliberately unattended or inadequately attended. A child is unattended when left by himself without provision for his needs and without proper supervision. Okay, this one naman is sinadya talaga. It is intentional na pinabayaan nila yung bata. Okay? And neglect may occur in 2 ways. We have your physical neglect and emotional neglect. Pag physical neglect, kitang-kita sa katawan ng bata because of maybe malnourishment. Okay? Kitang-kita na masyado siyang marumi. Okay? Damage yung clothing niya. Natutulog siya sa kalsada. He doesn't have any shelter. Okay? That is your physical neglect. Kitang-kita sa mismong bata that he is neglected. We also have your emotional neglect. Yan. This emotional neglect, of course, mas affected yung mental health nila, no? Because of maltreatment, raped, seduced, abused, exploited, made to work under conditions not conducive to good health, or placed in moral and physical danger. Okay, so these are the acts, no? These are the acts na nakakasira or nakakaapekto sa emotional or mental health ng bata. Okay? Yan. So, that is neglected child. Okay, so next one is mentally retarded children, or these individuals or children have actually intellectual disabilities, no? These individuals are socially and occupationally incompetent. Okay? They might be unable to manage their affairs. Okay? And they are intellectually below normal talaga from birth or early age. Okay? So, ano kaya yung reasons or causes kung bakit nagkakaroon na tayo ng mentally retarded children or those individuals who have an intellectual disability? Okay? Maaari na it may be hereditary, no? Merong ganitong problema din or sickness ang kanilang parents. It may be also because of a disease, okay? Or other medical conditions that of course affects their brain development, no? Okay, so what are the key characteristics of those persons that have intellectual disability? First, dyan is mentally subnormal, retarded, intellectually from birth or early age. Ibig sabihin, they have actually they have a lower intellectual capacity talaga. Ang hirap-hirap nilang makakope up. Okay, their ability to mature and to learn is significantly masyadong very delayed. Okay, so talagang isip bata talaga sila kumbaga. And of course, they require special education training or lifelong assistance. Now, let's discuss these types of intellectual disabilities. We have here we have here your CTEB, okay, for us to easily recall. We have your custodial, trainable, educable, and borderline or have a low normal. Okay? For custodial, yung mga merong IQ ng 1 to 25, ito talaga yung mga kabataan or children that requires a full-time support, full-time care, kasi they cannot perform talaga, pati basic functions, they cannot do it talaga. Okay? Pag trainable naman, we have there your IQ for 25 to 50. Okay? So, ito yung pwede pang matrain. This child or children can actually learn basic self-care. Okay? Yung mga simple tasks lang, gaya ng pagpunta sa CR, pag nawiwiwi, mga ganyan. Okay? So, simple task lang. And of course, kailangan pa rin ng guidance ng magulang. Okay? Number 3 is educable, okay, or 50 to 75 yung IQ nila. Yan, they can actually acquire academic skills na, pero meron ng certain mental capacity or mental level yung kaya nilang i-take or kaya nilang i-cope up. And actually, they can perform simple jobs also. Okay? So, yan, pwede silang pumasok sa paaralan dito sa number 3. And number 4, your borderline or your low normal, yung IQ nila is 75 to 89. Still, no, they are still struggling with the complex tasks. So, compared to us na normal yung IQ natin, we can actually perform tasks, we can actually make decisions on our own, okay, we can actually perform well in sa school, pero these persons in the borderline, they can actually live independently, no, pero hindi kagaya natin na kaya nating desisyonan yung sarili natin. They still need support. And of course, nahihirapan pa rin sila sa complex tasks. Ayan. Okay? Next is your idiots or these are the common classification based on age. Yan, or equivalent mental ability. Say for example, there is your idiot, no, or your idiots. These persons naman can function like a child below 2 years old. So, kahit na 8 years old na siya, pero yung functioning pa rin niya, or yung mental ability pa rin niya is compared to a 2 years old. Okay? Or lower, below 2 years old yung functioning pa rin niya. Okay? Next is imbecile. Okay? Pag sinabi naman nating imbecile, these are the individuals whose mental ability is equivalent to a child aged 2 to 7 years old. Okay, so kahit na 12 years old na siya and above, still yung tikasan na agpanunot is like of an age of 2 to 7 years old. So talagang isip bata pa rin, no? Yan, isip bata pa rin. And number 3 is moron. O, sino sa inyo yung nakapanood ng Moron 5? Okay, so that is an example, no? Your Moron 5. Ayan, so these individuals function similarly to a child above 7 years old, but still, no? Kahit na they can function na similar to a child who's above 7 years old, pero still yung IQ nila, yung intellectual capacity nila is still below normal, unlike with us nga na normal yung IQ natin. Okay? So, yan. Next to mentally retarded persons is you're physically handicapped. Okay, so basically, these are individuals or persons with physical limitations and it affects their movement or communication. Pag sinabi natin crippled, ayan, they have difficulty in walking. So, they have difficulty in moving kasi it may be due to an injury, maybe due to a disease, ayan, or maybe meron silang other congenital conditions. Okay? Yan. Pag deaf and mute naman, these are the people that cannot hear or cannot speak. Kaya nga meron tayong, or we require them to learn sign language. Or meron din tayong tinatawag na assistive devices. Okay? Of course, blind, pag they are vision impaired, okay, or it may range from very partial, okay, partial lang na blurred, or total blindness talaga. And other conditions, these are impairment that limits their physical interaction, such as, say for example, they are missing their limbs, they have sakit like paralysis, yan, those ones. So, they are also called your physically handicapped. Okay, of course, there are challenges that are being experienced by these people, no? Sometimes, of course, ang hirap-hirap nilang maka-access sa facilities natin. Ang hirap nilang maka-access sa opportunities na nakukuha natin. Yan. Okay? Also, they might need assistive technologies. What are these assistive technologies? Wheelchairs. Yan. Yung mga gumagamit ng hearing aids or those braille reading materials. Yan. Okay, and of course, as society or as community must promote accessibility and inclusivity para masuportahan naman natin sila. Okay? Next one is emotionally disturbed. Okay, when we say emotionally disturbed, these are persons that are that have emotional or behavioral disorders, no? So, these individuals are not mentally ill, but they actually struggle to form normal social relationships kasi nga maybe meron silang trauma, meron silang anxiety, or maybe meron silang psychological issues na nararanasan. Okay? Some factors or reasons as to why meron tayong mga emotionally disturbed children is because maybe they are being abused at home, no? Okay, what else? Maybe they are neglected, no, nung mga kabataan nila. Or, of course, nakakaranas sila ng extreme stress. Yan. What else? Traumatic experiences. Like, say, for example, binubuli pala sila sa loob ng school or binubuli sila ng ibang kabataan. Ano pa? Maybe they lost a loved one, no? Maybe their parents, yung mga guardians nila. Yan. Okay, so, what else? Anxiety, yan. Yung mga nagkakaroon ng depression ng mga bata. Okay, or personality disorders. Yan. Now, how are we going to see the signs if meron silang or they are emotionally disturbed? Okay? First one is maybe kita naman natin if hirap talaga silang mag-maintain ng friendship or hirap talaga silang makipag-interact, makipag-communicate with other people. Ayan. Maybe maisip natin that they are actually emotionally disturbed. What else? Frequent mood swings. Yan. Say for example, ngayon, okay naman sila, nakakausap natin sila, maya-maya, bigla na lang silang nagdadabog or galit, 'di ba? Or biglang very sad or later on biglang masaya. Yan. So there is an aggression or maybe withdrawal sa emotions nila. What else? If napapansin natin that they are very worried, they are takot na takot sila. Yan, ang hirap nilang mag-trust with other people. Yan, so they have difficulty expressing their emotions. Yan, those are the signs that pwede nating masabi na that they are emotionally disturbed. Okay? Of course, what are the support that they needed? Pag sa barangay, dapat nagkakandak sila ng or every month sana meron silang kinakandak na mga therapy, no? Counseling para sa mga bata that are emotionally disturbed. And of course, they must also be supportive and understanding, no? Kasi nga, kailangan ng mga batang to ng emotional healing and social skill training. Ayan. Next one is mentally ill. Okay? Or pag sinabi nating mentally ill, actually, they have a psychiatric disorder. Yan. So, they suffer from severe behavioral disorders talaga that, of course, requiring them to have a medical attention, therapy, or worst case, kailangan nilang ma-hospitalize. Yan. Say, for example, yung mga may schizophrenia, no? So, this is a disorder with hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thinking. When we say hallucinations, it is a perception of reality. Okay? So, meron silang nakikita na hindi nakikita ng iba. Meron silang nararanasan na hindi naman talaga, or meron silang nararamdaman na hindi naman talaga totoo. Yan. So, they have disorganized thinking. What else? Those who have a bipolar disorders, di ba? Yung meron talaga silang extreme mood swings na nagkakaroon talaga sila ng mania. Yan. So, maybe because meron silang depression. Yan, yung biglang okay naman siya, kinakausap mo siya kanina and masaya naman siya. Masaya siya kausap. And then later on, bigla na lang siyang nagwawala. Okay? So, yan, bipolar disorder. What else? OCD. What is OCD? Obsessive compulsive disorder. No, so these are children that have a repetitive behaviors or thoughts na nagkukos sa kanila ng stress. Okay? Yan. So, what are the signs and challenges naman na makikita natin if these individuals are mentally ill? So, of course, no, kita naman that they are difficult in distinguishing reality from imagination. Hindi na nila alam kung ano yung totoo sa ini-imagine lang nila. Okay? Hirap din silang mag-function, of course, kung sa work, sa school, sa bahay nila, sa social interactions nila, ang hirap nilang maki-interact sa other people. And of course, parehas pa din naman, gaya ng iba, they require medication, therapy, or hospitalization. Okay? And last but not the least is disabled children. Okay, so pag sinabi na nating disabled, okay, so it includes mentally retarded, physically handicapped, emotionally disturbed, and mentally ill. Or it is a combination now of the conditions. Okay, so it is an individual who may have a combination of these conditions. Yan, yung mga physically handicapped, mentally retarded, emotionally disturbed, nagsama-sama na yan. And tinatawag na natin silang disabled. Okay? Ang example dito is a child with cerebral palsy, no? Meron na nga siyang physical disability PMAN, meron pa siyang intellectual disability. So, combination na yan. Yan. So, ang tawag sa kanila, meron silang cerebral palsy. Ano pa? Yung individual na hindi na nga makakita, meron pang mental disability. Okay? So, of course, no, kailangan niya talaga ng specialized care. Okay? So, ayan. After we discussed all of these ones, dapat we now understand, no, the different types of disabilities. So, of course, it will help us to be more, of course, compassionate to them, supportive to them. Okay, whether a person has a intellectual disability man yan, physical limitation man yan, emotional trauma man yan, or mental illness man yan, of course, kagaya natin, they still deserve respect, they still deserve assistance, and of course, equal opportunity pa rin dapat yung nare-receive nila from the society. Okay, kasi all of us here in this society, we all have a role in creating an inclusive society wherein dapat yung mga tao na may disabilities na mga to, we do not see them as burdens, no? But of course, as individuals sana na still they with the unique abilities and of course potential, no? Yan, so let us foster understanding sana, patience, and support for them in all aspects of life. Okay? So, that's it.